Hey everyone, it's Stock Picks by Tim, and we have a really red day in the market. It's time to look at some stocks. Now first off, I'm going to brush over TradingView's heat map, show you what's going on overall, and then we're going to look at the chart and check out what I think are some great deals right now. So if you don't mind, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I put out daily videos and I definitely appreciate you guys. Now looking at TradingView's heat map, we are just getting dragged through the dirt. Most stocks are red. However, funny enough, energy, oil is up. I personally think Amazon is getting to be a great deal. A lot of large cap tech is actually starting to look really attractive to me, and there are definitely a lot of deals out there. What have you guys been looking for in the market lately? I think this current market, it's a great time to be a long-term investor, a great time to be a buyer. Swing trades right now are not the business. Day trades you can definitely do alright in, playing breakouts. But let me know down below what you guys have been doing. What's your strategy lately as we've been through this bear market? Are you just the buy and hold mentality, buy as they fall? Are you waiting for a certain point? Are you waiting for a reversal? Let me know what your plan is down below in the comments. Now next up, let's look at what Bitcoin's been doing real quick, and I'll give you guys an update on VGX. We have been creating newer lows. Now looking at Bitcoin, I think it is a great time to add to. It does appear like it's trying to hold 20,000 as a support, even though the overall market is red than the devil's you know what. So that is very interesting. That is something not to gloss over, that we're just having a really rough day for tech, and yet Bitcoin is holding up pretty strong. Very interesting, very interesting. But yes, I do see it as a great time to buy if you're a long-term investor on Bitcoin. You know, easy money to me at the 20,000, 15,000, 17,000. I mean, come on. If you actually want to own one full Bitcoin, this is a great opportunity to chip away and keep buying. Own one Bitcoin one day. I mean, imagine how much easier it becomes if Bitcoin comes down to 15, even people calling out for 10,000. I mean, I would be loading up. I could one day have multiple Bitcoin if that's the case. I really don't think we're going to hit 10,000. I just don't see it. Anything's possible, of course. I have been wrong before, trust me on that. But you better believe that if Bitcoin comes down to 15, 10,000, I will be absolutely loading up. And even at this current price, I see it as a great time to add. And when you look at the cycle history, now, during this crypto winter, during a crypto winter 4-year cycle, we are right in the middle point between the halving. And this is always a time of stagnation, and this has historically always been a time to buy, and I think now is no different. Now next up, I wanted to show you guys VGX, and we are in a clear downtrend, and it's actually even tightened up a little bit. So you definitely want to keep an eye on this, wait for it to break out, otherwise it's very likely you're going to be continuing to buy a falling knife. What have I been doing with VGX? Let's zoom back a bit. If you guys remember, we found 130 as a quick little bounce. Once we broke from that, we continued very hard. Came all the way down to about 57 cents, had a nice little bounce. That established another possible future support. We came up to a resistance at right around that 130. Double topped. I mean, this chart tells a clear story. If you follow technicals, it's literally like telling you the story as it goes. And then right here is the beginning of when the Three Arrows capital issues started. We just have been in a consistent, continued downtrend. Now, once we broke that 130, guys, I did say I wanted to see us find a new level of support. I wanted to be slow and methodical with this one. I did add again at 75 cents because it seemed to me it was starting to level out there. Sure enough, we did break that though, and we have been continuing down. Now, we tried for a very short period to hold 40 cents, but it just didn't cut it, and it broke down from that. And like I said, psychological levels of support, 35, then 30, then 25. Seems like that's what's happening. Now, if you believe in the project, you're likely like a kid in a candy store. However, I think everyone right now is very fearful. Things are definitely uncertain, and no one has a clear answer if Voyager will or will not survive. At this point, it is high risk, high reward, even higher than it was in the past. However, I'm going to continue to hold on to this one, and I'm going to continue to buy, but I am taking my time like I've said, because this is obviously a falling knife, and why try to just snipe the bottom when you could just, sit back and watch it and potentially get a better price? Because that is the momentum that it's going. You don't want to put your face to the wind. You want the wind at your back pushing you the direction you're looking for. If that makes any sense, I'm kind of getting a little complicated here. I might have had a little too much caffeine. But the point is, be careful, guys. Take your time. I could have just been buying this right when it broke $1.30. I could have bought it $1.30, bought it $1.20, bought it $1.10, bought it, you get the point. Instead, I've been trying to kind of take my time, add a little bit here because I don't know when it will turn around. So I do want to try to get some skin in the game at these low levels, but I don't want to build up too much, if that makes any sense to you guys. In the end, I do believe in the project, and I am putting my money where my mouth is. I am going to keep my VGX, and I will add to it. However, you all do need to know that it is very high risk. I can't stress that enough. But I do believe in the executive team, and they have a reputation to uphold. Alright, I went on a bit of a tangent there. We'll see what I cut out, and we'll see what I don't. But let's look at a couple stocks here. Now we've got one. CleanSpark. Like I said, guys, once we break this trend, it's very likely we fall. What have we been doing? We have been falling a bit. I see it as a great time to add. I am very long-term on CleanSpark. We're actually bouncing off of oversold right now. And that $4 mark may, in fact, be our bottom if we get a little bit of a turnaround throughout the rest of the week. Bitcoin seems to be holding relatively strong at around 20,000. It did, for a short period break, hit around the 17s and come back very quickly. So I do see CleanSpark as a great time to add. As I've said before, it's very likely that their next revenue, even the one after, might be a bit lackluster just because of how Bitcoin's price has been. When you look at their previous revenue, it's very likely they're going to come under those previous revenues, which isn't good, is not good. But I believe in the long term of CleanSpark, and once we get back into that Bitcoin bull run, CleanSpark is going to dramatically outperform Bitcoin in my opinion. Next up, I wanted to mention Indie. This one I don't talk about too much lately. I definitely love this one. Huge fan of Indie Semiconductor, huge fan of the semiconductor industry as a whole. And looking at this one, you know, it gapped up on great earnings, and they gave good forward guidance too. There is no reason to be fearful at this price, in my opinion. I definitely love buying Indie. They have got one of the best executive teams out there. I highly urge you to look into Indie. If you don't look into any of these stocks, please just look into Indie. I highly recommend it. Next up is ChargePoint. I actually love this one as well. We have been in a nice uptrend. I haven't even thought about selling yet. And you know, this definitely has a bit to fall before potentially bouncing off of this trend line or breaking down and testing some lower levels. I think ChargePoint is a great time to add, despite us going from about $8, $9 on that max fear, max capitulation day of May 11th, May 12th. But just be aware that we have run up a bit, so exercise caution there, but I do see long-term value in ChargePoint. The EV revolution is upon us. It is very apparent. We have auto manufacturers creating new EVs at record paces, with more models coming up in the future. And you've got to be living under a rock if you don't think EVs are going to be the future in 5, 10, even 15 years. Definitely love ChargePoint for the long term, and this is my picks and shovel play. Highly recommend it as well. Next up is going to be NIO, NIO, and let's draw out a trend line here. This is a clear trend. So keep an eye on this. If we do break from this, likely we fall further. But I have no reason not to see this trend continuing. And look, same story, that May 11th, May 12th, max fear, this could have in fact been the bottom. I don't have a crystal ball, but all I know is I bet you if you were buying in this area, you are going to be happy looking a year, 2 years out. NIO is expanding to Europe, and one day they will be in America, and they actually do have an office in San Jose, funny enough, if you guys didn't know that. And any of you fans of StockMo, as he said, you know, that China is doing quantitative easing, which is basically China's trying to help their economy, trying to pump it with some cash, while we are in fact doing the opposite. We are trying to, you know, stifle inflation. We are trying to do tightening. So that's very interesting, and it is definitely going to play a major role in NIO and all Chinese stocks likely going higher. Next up, I want to talk about Matterport, or MTTR. I haven't mentioned this one in a while. I do still hold it. I've been just keeping an eye on it. It has been a falling knife, continuing to drop. It did break its May 12th, May 11th lows, but keep an eye on this pattern. I think it is going to break out of it soon, and this may be our little trend to the upside. This is my Metaverse play, and I'm going to continue to hold it up to the end of this year. But to be honest, I have not bought this one recently. I'm keeping an eye on it. I actually want to wait and see when this trend will turn around on this one. PayPal, another great one to add. It did break down from its May 11th, May 12th low, although it seems to be holding very strong at 70 cents. It did break out of this downtrend relatively quickly. I personally think PayPal is at a great time to add to, and coming up very soon, they're going to be announcing that deal with Venmo and Amazon. It is still in the works. They did, in their last earnings call, mention it. So it is flying under the radar. I feel like no one's really talking about it. And this is definitely going to help PayPal out a bit, because Venmo is a subsidiary of PayPal. Next up, I just want to quickly mention Workhorse. This isn't a general uptrend. I wouldn't really follow this exactly, but you can tell it's in a general uptrend. So let's remove that. But don't sleep on Workhorse. I think the CEO, Rick, is turning this company around. He definitely knows his stuff. He has been in this situation before, turning around companies from near failure. But they are making big moves behind the scenes. I think Workhorse is not a dead horse, and this zombie stallion has been kicked back to life by the management team. And you know, looking at the trend, they have been in a slight uptrend. I personally do not see this coming down much. You can see it's right around a support level that is established since January. So I do think it is a great time to add to WKHS. Next up, I want to talk about Astra, and this one has just been absolutely destroying me here. They had a failed launch and it has just been dropping like a rock, continuing to gap down all the way down to $1.33 now. It is continuing to create newer lows. So if you don't have this yet, you are going to want to keep an eye on it. If you do have this, and if you have a long-term mindset on it, and if you're high conviction, it is a great time to add. Now they currently are oversold, but they have been more oversold than this before. So that doesn't mean we're at the bottom. But one thing to know is they are going to launch again. It's just a matter of time. But will it be a success? I don't have the answer. Rockets are hard, but you gotta be willing to risk it for the biscuit. And this may be that rocket to the moon. That's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out the links down below for free crypto and stocks. Thanks as always, and see you next time.